Although Loyola sports can be exciting, the department still lacks some programs that other schools have. If Loyola could add one more team, baseball or football, what would it be? The roundtable will decide.
Thanks, Amanda. I'm Maura Guthrie, and I'm joined by my fellow sports locker companions, Mr. Garrison Carr and Mr. Griffin Rebecca. Today we're going to have a little conversation about one of the age-old debates here amongst the Loyola attendees and faculty alike. Should we have a football team, or maybe we would prefer a baseball team? So I'm going to kick it off with my buddy Griff here. What do you think, Griff?
Oh, Maura, we need a baseball team, and here's why. Football, I love it. I love the sport to death, but it's one of those things where you have to get a lot of people involved, and it takes a lot to get going. Baseball is easy to implement, and you could be good right away. A couple of good pitchers, you're ready to go.
Okay, yes.
I think you're oversimplifying the process a little bit, especially as a member of the club baseball team here. We should maybe disclose that just a little bit. But I think the only way to go here is football. Football has overtaken baseball as America's pastime. You've seen that football dominating baseball in the ratings for 30 or 40 years. That's not a disputable fact.
America's pastime.
It's not a disputable fact.
There's no chance. Now look at the MLB playoffs. How much have the ratings gone?
I personally am not watching them.
On a cable network broadcasting Monday Night Football, still dominates playoff baseball. It's playoff baseball in the ratings.
Once a week. Baseball comes every single day, especially during the playoffs. Now, you can't get a better sport than baseball.
Level, though, here. I mean, I actually, Griff, I'm with you. I love football. Football is probably my favorite sport, especially professionally, but as far as Loyola is concerned, I think it's just more feasible for us to have a baseball team. I don't know where we would put a football stadium. I mean...
That's another...
Well, we're putting logistics aside here because we don't have much of a place for a baseball stadium either.
But also, I think that it would just take way too long for us to even get a decent football team together. And as miserable as this sounds, it's easier to unite around a halfway decent baseball team than a halfway decent football team. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with you, Maura. All the elite football programs took a long time to establish themselves.
And they've been around for
That's
a
not
long
necessarily
time.
true, though. You have a program like South Florida, who was started less than 20 years ago, and they're already a perennial top 25 team.
Okay, well, what about USC and their baseball team?
I was going to go there. UIC itself, they started 10 years ago. They started here in Chicago. They're in the Horizon League. They built a dome stadium to keep the weather out, and they are doing substantially better than most teams throughout the college league throughout.
Well, I think we should probably go ahead and end it there before I get ganged up on again. So we're just going to send it back to the studio. Back to you guys.
In this week's interview, Brendan Bond sits down with women's basketball players Simone Law and Gabby Micek.
Thanks, Ricky. I'm joined on set here with women's basketball players Simone Law and Gabby Micek. Law is a freshman forward, Micek is a junior guard. Thanks, guys, for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
All right, so tomorrow night, Friday night, is Midnight Madness, the official start of the basketball season. Can you just give us an idea of what that is? What are you guys going to be doing at Midnight Madness?
Well, Midnight Madness has changed a little bit this year. Normally we do a scrimmage, and then we have a three-point contest against the men's team. But this year we're going to be doing drills and basically just kicking off our season, and hopefully we get a lot of fans there to watch us.
No more three-point contests or anything like that?
It's like a three-point contest with the fans, so more interaction with fans.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's good. So what happens if a fan beats one of you guys?
That's not going to be too good in practice, probably.
We told our coach to choose someone that looks like we can beat them, so hopefully.
Speaking of coach, your coach is Eric Simpson. This is his third year at Loyola. What, especially you being a freshman, what have you seen from Simpson so far being on campus? How do you like him? What's his style of play?
I mean, like, he seems like a really patient coach. Like, he's had a lot of time with the freshmen, like, just telling us, teaching us, like, to go through the plays and stuff. So just getting us acclimated to, like, the system, so.
And now you've been here with Simpson for a few years. I mean, how have you seen things progress as the years have gone by?
Well, one of the main things that I like about his coaching style is the consistency. Like, we don't change up our plays or our defense. We keep it pretty much the same throughout the years, so it gives us a chance to really get to know the offense, and it helps us a lot with our play.
All right, Simone, you're from the Chicago area. Why did you choose Loyola to come to?
I like the location, especially. I was getting like recruited by a lot of schools, so I really wanted my parents to come. And Loyola is like right by downtown. The lake is so pretty in Chicago, so I wanted to stay home.
Yeah, and then Gabby, you're actually a walk-on from San Francisco area. Why Loyola? And why did you decide to walk on?
My sister actually went here, so that was one of the reasons. And then I wanted to get an experience of the winter. And then the reason I walked on is, well, unlike her, I didn't get any offers or anything, and I love basketball and I wanted to continue playing, so I figured that if I had a chance to walk on here, then that would be a good idea. And I talked to Coach Simpson before, so he knew that I was coming, and it's been pretty good so far.
Did you get enough experience the winters yet, or?
Yes, I do not need any more winter.
All right, coming into the season, the perennial powerhouse in the Horizon League is Green Bay. What do you guys expect from them this year, and how do the other teams in conference stack up? And where do you see yourself in conference this year?
Well, personally, I see us as like an upcoming team, so I'm excited for this season.
Yeah, Green Bay is always a tough team. I mean, they're always going to be a huge powerhouse, as you said, but yeah, we have a young team. I mean, our incoming freshmen have been doing great, so we're excited to just get started and see how we do. Okay,
and then just talk about your personal game a little bit. What do you think are the strengths of your games, and what are maybe some of the weaknesses that you're going to try and work on before the season tips off with the first game?
Let's see, what would I say? I say I'm like more of like a face-up player, so I like to drive, and I can shoot too, so take you off the dribble, I can post up, so.
I don't know if you take me off the dribble, but.
Oh, here we go. I think so. I think I could. But I think a weakness, I would say I have to work on my left a little bit more. Okay. Just attacking left.
And my strength is probably my defense. That's always something that I've loved playing. And then I probably need to work on my offense, just driving to the basket and my jump shot, getting stronger and stuff.
Okay. Well, you have some time before the first game, especially with practices kicking off with Midnight Madness tomorrow. So you make sure you catch the women's basketball team in action coming up this season. That's it for now. We'll send it back to the desk.
Last week, we had a surprise visitor on campus. Pro BMX rider Terry Adams, who is currently touring the nation's colleges, put on a surprise demo for Loyola students at the Lakeshore campus. Mary Sugden had the chance to sit down and find out more.
So I understand that what you do is called flatland. That's it. So, I mean, for people who maybe don't know a whole lot about BMX, how is that different from other types of BMX?
There's a ton of different disciplines of BMX. And flatland is basically the more artsy side of BMX. It's like doing a bunch of tricks on the flat ground. And the reason I say it's like artsy is because it's a pretty infinite style of riding. And even if I'm not like trying to come up with something new, I normally try to spend like 4 to 6 hours on the bike a day. You know, maybe 3 in between if I'm at home and I'm not traveling. So practicing quite a bit and, you know, trying to stay as active as I can on it.
Very cool. You're on the Red Bull tour right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it the Red Bull College Tour. It's not like a branded thing, but I'm definitely on like a college tour for Red Bull. And it started on like August 11th. It's just been basically college campuses. And I'm just like kind of stopping off on these campuses, finding the flat spots to ride, talking to you guys, and more or less just hanging out and doing my thing.
So what do you think of Loyola's campus so far as being rideable or?
Yeah, it's good. Like some campuses I go to, like really like the whole campus will be fixed, or the campus will be on like a slant. So some of the schools I can't even really ride at all. So this campus is cool because there's like flat spots like this or over there by those windows. So it's good and it's good weather and the students are in a good mood. So.
That's great.
Sorry.
The Loyola community is mourning the death of Loyola graduate Joseph J. Gentile. He passed away on Monday, October 10th at the age of 87. Gentile made a name for himself as a Chrysler Plymouth car dealer in Barrington. Father Garanzini released a statement about Joe Gentile's death. The Loyola University Chicago community is saddened to hear of the passing of Joe Gentile, who was an alum and an avid supporter of the Ramblers athletics program and the namesake of the university's Joseph J. Gentile Arena. We celebrate Joe's passion for life and athletics, as well as his commitment to students. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Gentile family.
Gentile graduated from Loyola in 1948 and donated half the cost of the Gentile Arena, which is named after him. For many years, he has sponsored the television and radio broadcast of Loyola basketball games. The dates and times of the services are pending. From the Rambler Sports Locker, our thoughts and prayers go to the Gentile family. In other Chicago sports news, the Chicago Cubs are well into serious negotiations to bring Red Sox general manager Theo Epstein in from Boston. Fans and organization alike are excited about the opportunity to have a GM with a history of breaking curses.
Well, that will do it for this edition of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Amanda Crohan.
And I'm Ricky's mom. Thanks for visiting the locker room, and don't forget to turn off the lights.